international speakers. They've come all the way from somewhere outside of Aspen. That's not where they're born and bred, but that's where they've travelled from. So we're really lucky to have them here. Krista, who I'll invite both of them up shortly. Krista is a product formulator, a herbalist, a nutritionist. She's got a huge amount of information around nutrition and well-being, having had her own amazing health journey. Michael's got a vast amount of knowledge around the financial industry, having had a lot of experience as an economist in the States. So between these people, they are going to share some amazing information with you. I'm really excited about what they're going to be talking about, and I'm sure you'll all get something really good out of this. So with that, I would like to have everyone join me in giving Michael, Jude and Krista Way a warm welcome.
Thanks for that. Yeah. And thank you all. Thanks for your time today, coming out, and hope your interest will be rewarded, and we have some information for you.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with our journey with this.
Yeah, it's a good place. In the beginning. Start with the beginning.
In the beginning. 15 years ago, I guess it was, we discovered this company called Life Force International. And I had, for many years, been looking for a product that I could recommend to my clients that would form a really solid foundation for their health. And over the years, I tried a lot of different things, lots of different things, actually. Some of them for a while, mostly food-based. So I've never really been a pill person. So I always looked for things that were more food-based. And I never really found what I was looking for. I mean, I tried, I used spirulina for a long time, and it's a wonderful food, but it's definitely not for everybody. I wanted something that was easy to take, that anybody could take, pretty much, and that would give people what was missing because of diet, because of stress, because of environmental toxins, because of all kinds of stuff that we live with every day that destroys the nutrients in our body. And so we came across this product called Body Balance. And it's kind of where our journey, not exactly where it started, but it was the beginning of this part of the journey. And we spent 3 months researching, asking questions, trying it out, because one of the things for me is that, and probably for a lot of people, some things look great on paper, but what actually happens when it goes into the human body? And another thing that now we're very aware of is that pills and capsules don't get metabolized properly. And so what you see on the label of a bottle is not what your body's getting at all. And your body actually gets a very small percentage of that, and you're putting a lot of stress on your kidneys and liver and all of that kind of thing. So I was looking for whole food. I was looking for something that would give people what was missing. And one of the huge things right now is mineral deficiency. People can get vitamin supplements every day of the week, but minerals are the basis. It's like without that mineral base, you can take 1 million vitamin supplements and they're not going to do anything, because your body needs the minerals to metabolize the vitamins. So we came across this product called Body Balance, and we've been using it for 15 years. I take it every day. I wouldn't be without it. It's completely changed my life, and I felt pretty healthy when I started, but my level of health literally has just gone through the roof in the 15 years that I've been using the product. And I've watched so many people, probably thousands over the years that we've been recommending it. Lives changed. It's just been amazing. Such a simple thing. How many people have not ever tried Body Balance? You don't know what it is, never tried it. Oh, there's a few people. Okay, great. So it's a simple thing. It's a drink that you drink, number one. So when you drink something, your body metabolizes almost everything that's in there. And the basis of it is aloe vera, organic aloe vera, and there's 9 different wild seaweeds in there. And that's the basis of it. It's got some black cherry concentrate to make it taste good, but basically it's aloe vera and seaweed. And it's safe for children. We have little ones who love it. It's safe for elderly people, sick people, well people, you name it. Pretty much anyone can take it. And we've just seen all kinds of amazing things. So that was the foundation. When I started seeing what it was doing for people, I got really excited.
Mm. Well, I got excited too, because when I started taking it, I had pretty dramatic results. I thought, well, here's a juice, here's a fruit juice, and wow, it's wonderful and it looks good. But my results were pretty remarkable. I was one of these people that had to have coffee. I just have a slow start in the day. Maybe nobody else here has that, but I was. 10 o'clock, maybe I'd start to wake up, and afternoon slump and all that stuff. As long as I had stimulants like caffeine or sugar, I could make it through the day. What I noticed as soon as I started taking this was I didn't need the stimulants. I had more energy, and it was a different kind of energy. It's not that drink a cup of coffee and get jacked up and then crash. Get up and crash, and that seesaw, which is exhausting. I actually noticed I had energy all day. Beautiful, easy, clean energy. And I had more energy going into the evening, because at the time, by the time 5 or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock rolled around, I wasn't good for much. But I found when I started drinking this, I had an evening and I slept better. I actually went to sleep better, slept better, and woke up better. Now, that was pretty remarkable. I thought, well, that's good enough, but it got better. It got better because my brain started working better. My memory improved, both short-term and long-term. I could remember things. And, it's funny because I thought, gosh, I can't remember where the keys are. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the phone number. I don't remember from, anybody else have that? Yeah. And I thought, oh, well, that's getting old. But it's not getting old. It's getting malnourished. I wasn't feeding my brain. Once I started feeding my brain with the sea veggies, what I noticed is my memory came back, my ability to focus and concentrate came back. I could stick with things longer. My mood improved. How about that? I mean, people were still cutting me off in traffic, and taxes were still bad, and all the rest of it. That didn't go away, but I wasn't as stressed about it. And even more importantly, my immune system got a strong boost. I was one of these people who would get a cold. I was a cold magnet. Oh, you got a cold back there? Thank you. I'll be down for a week. I'll see you. That's how it was. I would avoid people. I would avoid situations because I knew I'd get the cold. In the last 15 years, I've had 3 colds. I used to get 3 a season. My immune system is operating at peak potential, peak efficiency. And the name of the game these days with these pandemics going around the globe, I don't know if I can avoid them, but I want a strong immune system to fight them off. So this product works. It changed my life. I would suggest you try it if you haven't, and let it change your life. But we've got a new product now, and I've actually got a little testimonial about our new product. I'm very excited about this. This is our new product called Be Lean, and it's part of a program which Krista's going to talk about. Actually, why don't you talk about it first, and then I'll share my story.
Yeah,
How's
sure.
that?
So this hasn't even been released yet. So you are some of the first people to hear about it. We've had a couple of get-togethers like this in the last week or so, and I don't know. I am just so excited about this. So one of the things that I just heard a few days ago was that somebody somewhere did a poll of people, and the number one New Year's resolution, way beyond anything else, was I want to lose weight. So what we've got coming, and it's actually it's going to be on sale next month.
It's on the boat now, coming here.
Coming here, yeah, right.
On the seas.
So is a program called Be New. Be New program, and it's a weight management program that, for me, is just so exciting. We've had a test group of people who've been using the program for the last 2 or 3 months, and watching people's results has just been extraordinary, way beyond what I even thought it was going to be. And what I'm so excited about is that it's not just a weight loss program. What it does is that it actually works on the foundation of why the body is in this state in the first place, and rebalances it all. It's amazing to me watching people on this program feel so good. People have energy, they feel alive, they're happy, their moods have stabilized. I mean, it's just so exciting for me to see that, because it's one thing to lose weight, and we all know, right, that the more weight we carry, the more prone we are to degenerative disease conditions. But losing weight is one thing. Targeting the foundation of that, and why that's happening in the body, and where is the body out of balance, and why is it doing that, and getting to the cause rather than just treating the symptom all the time is a whole different ballgame. And so the program, basically, there's 3 products that form the crux of the program. One product we actually don't have here right now. It's yet to come. We grabbed these. The first one's off the conveyor belt before we came here. Oh, thank you, yeah. So I don't know whether you can see these pictures here, but the one we don't have is the one in the middle, that little green bit. And it's called Be Pure. So the 3 products are Be Pure, Be Full, and Be Lean. And that makes up the crux of the Be New program. There's also a full up eating plan, exercise plan, all kinds of other things that form part of it. But the products are like the main focus. So the Be Pure is something that you take for 1 week. It's the very first week of the program, and it's a cleanse product. So what it does is it cleanses the entire GI tract. It helps cleanse your liver, and it gets the body ready to be able to accept and utilize the rest of the program more efficiently and effectively. It's very gentle. You don't need to stop your life and stand by the toilet for a week. It's very gentle, and it's very easy to take. It's a powder, you just mix it up and you drink it. It has in it our aloe and 9 sea vegetables are actually in there, along with different fibers, like there's apple fiber and carrot fiber and all kinds of other things like that in there. Different herbs in there, like dandelion root, yellow dock, all kinds of different things that work on cleansing the blood, cleansing the liver, just so your body gets a full workout. Then the second product is this big purple thing over here called Be Full, and this is a meal replacement. And depending on your own personal choice, you can do this once or twice a day if you're on the program. Some people have been doing it twice a day, some people once a day. And it is a full meal replacement, and you will get to taste it because we've got some. So we're going to mix up some at the end of our talk here, so you can taste it and taste what it actually tastes like.
It's yummy.
It's really yummy. It tastes like a milkshake. And it's healthy. There is nothing in these products that is like artificial, shouldn't be in your body, all of that. So it's sweetened, this is sweetened with stevia, and it's got, oh my gosh, so it's protein, it's whey protein and pea protein. It has apple pectin, it's got, the other thing it's got in it is it's got all your omegas, 3, 6, and 9, lecithin from sunflowers, which is brain food, and it has an enzyme complex in there, because one of the things that happens, a lot of protein supplements and meal replacement things tend to make people constipated, because it's very hard for the body to break down a lot of that stuff. And so what we've done here is that we want to make the amino acids that are in the protein fully bioavailable to your body. And so we have an enzyme complex mixed in the powder that breaks that down for you.
And this is the one with the probiotics in it too, isn't it?
No, it has prebiotics.
Prebiotics.
Not probiotics.
Prebiotics.
Yes.
What's the difference?
Prebiotics are what feed the probiotics, right? So it's and actually apple pectin is one of those. It actually is food for the good gut bacteria to feed on. And then we have the diamond in the middle that everything revolves around, and that's this one. It's called Be Lean. And this is a lot of things. One of the things this is a metabolism booster. And so what this does is it will speed up your metabolism. Now, one of the things that we know, obviously I don't need my metabolism speeded up, but a lot of people do. And the older people get, the more their metabolism slows down. The bigger people get, the more their metabolism slows down. And so there's a very large percentage of the population whose metabolism is sluggish and not able to function properly. And so this targets that, because one of the things that we know, and the protein does too, drinking that protein powder will actually speed up your metabolism up to 30%. Any protein will do that, because the body uses a lot more calories to digest protein than it does other things. So this speeds up your metabolism, not in an unhealthy way, in a very healthy way, so that your body is able to do what it was designed to do. But this product does a lot of other things too. And one of the things that it targets is the insulin, glucose, blood sugar picture that's going on in your body, because that is one of the keys to losing weight. And so many people are just off the charts when it comes to blood sugar spikes, when it comes to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Insulin resistance.
Insulin resistance, thank you. So some of the ingredients in there go directly into the liver and will work on that part of the picture. Some of the ingredients in there work on the different enzymes in the body that break down carbohydrates so that you don't get sugar spikes. There are ingredients in there that work on actually shrinking the fat cells, because one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is when we start gaining weight, we're not building fat cells. It's just we have the same number of fat cells no matter how big we are. We die with the same number of fat cells we're born with. It's just that they get bigger, right? They grow, and they harbor toxins, they harbor fats that are pulled from the bloodstream. So your cells actually get bigger. Fat cells get bigger. So what some of these ingredients do is they actually shrink the fat cells back down again so that they're a healthy size and they can function properly. Because one of the things that happens as fat cells get bigger is that there are hormones that become involved in this picture, and fat cells harbor, there are hormones that live inside of fat cells. And the more weight somebody's carrying, the more out of balance those hormones are. And so again, there's ingredients in here that bring all that back into balance, that actually increase something called leptin sensitivity. Leptin is one of those hormones that live in the fat cells of the body. And so what happens, again, as we age, or when things impact us in a way that pushes our balance of health out, is that our sensitivity to leptin decreases. So one of the things that this hormone called leptin does is that it acts as what we call a neurotransmitter. So it's a signaler to the brain. And it tells, its main job is to tell the brain, oh, I've had enough, I'm full, I don't need anything else. And when that starts breaking down, have you ever had a meal and you're really full and you go to the fridge and you open the door and you look at, oh, what else can I eat? Yeah. That's leptin insensitivity. That's your body not picking up those signals. So that's just a very small part of the picture, but it actually plays a huge role.
So Krista, I know there's some exciting ingredients in here. We've got white kidney bean, we've got raspberry ketones, we've got green coffee bean, we've got green tea, mango. Maybe you could just briefly tell everybody why those things are important.
Yeah, well, for all the reasons that I've just said, because each one of those ingredients will do some of the things that I've just talked about. So green coffee bean extract works directly on glucose spikes. The white kidney bean works on carbohydrate metabolism. We have the raspberry, and when you taste it, it's raspberry because it's got dried raspberry powder mixed in, and that's kind of the taste that you get. And raspberry ketones actually start breaking down the fat in the fat cells and pull it out into the bloodstream, circulate it through the lymphatics so your body can get rid of it. We have something called ervinia, which is, its other name is African mango. And that's the one that fires up the leptin in your fat cells. Oh my gosh, what else? There's so much that these different ingredients do, and I've probably forgotten some, but there's information out there that we can share with you if you have an interest. But you said you were going to share your story.
Well, and by the way, Krista helped formulate this product, so she is an expert. And if you have specific questions, we'll be around afterward to take your questions. One of the things that I like about this, first of all, we have these brochures that we brought over with us. There's only a few, so we'll ask you not to take them, but you're welcome to look at them. These are people we know. These are personal friends of ours. Now, you may not be able to see these pictures, but these are folks. This is a young woman.
She's 21.
She's in her 20s, yeah, 21. And this is Bob, is in his 50s or 60s, that indeterminate gray area. But these folks lost, I'm being kind because I'm in that zone. These folks have lost 20 to 30 kilos in 2 to 3 months. So I don't know.
Some of that, yeah, it's not, some of that is fluid loss. So when people lose that amount of weight quickly, a lot of that is fluid. And the first couple of weeks, you'll see that, and then that'll slow right down.
So I don't know if you know people that want to do a substantial weight reduction safely, but again, these are not just some models that they ginned up. These are people we know. And we have over, I think, 100 people who've done this.
Who are part of the test.
Who are part of the test, and almost universally, age-wise, weight-wise, all the variables, we got a big, broad spectrum, they all lost significant weight safely, and they didn't feel tired, they didn't feel cranky and run down, they actually felt energetic, and their mood was enhanced. So this product really works. And as you heard earlier, it's food-based. It's not a bunch of chemicals that some guy in a lab jacket dreamed up and you don't know what's going to happen. So very, very safe. Now, as Krista mentioned earlier, we literally got this, we just came from America last week, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the very first box that came off the production facility in America. So this is the first in the world, really. But they started shipping last week, so people in America are already enjoying it, other than the test group. But, so I've been using this for a week. Now, I don't have a bunch of big meat that I'm trying to lose. You know, I'm not like severely overweight or anything. But what I've noticed is that I have lost a lot of body fat, you know, the thin fat, where the bones and that, and I feel better. I feel lighter, I feel more energized, and more important for me than, you know, excess body fat is I know what's happening on my organs. My heart, I'm losing the fat around my heart, my kidneys, liver, in the veins, you know, that's what's important to me. Now, some of you are health-oriented, some of you may just want to lose the weight, but I encourage you to try this.
Can I just say, sorry.
Oh, yes, please.
That just reminded me of something. One of the other ingredients in there, it's called fucoxanthin, and it's a seaweed extract. And that's what it does, is it actually catalyzes a protein that breaks down what we call belly fat. And that's the fat that builds up around your organs and builds up here. And that's the insidious fat, the fat that really does an incredible amount of harm to your body. So
and that's the hard stuff to get rid of.
Yeah.
And in the last week, I've stripped it off. I mean, I don't weigh myself, so I don't know how much I weigh, but I know I can look in the mirror and see that it's gone. It's just gone. And it didn't interrupt my life. It actually is quite pleasant. And so I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, good.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
so
please.
did you do the whole thing with
No.
with just the one session?
I've done 2 of these a day, one in the morning, one early afternoon, and I've done this occasionally. And a lot of the people, if I'm accurate, a lot of the people who did this 100 tests, they just did this, didn't they?
Some of the people did. The first ones that started did.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't fully. We had people. See, one of the things that the company really wanted to do was get a very full picture of how each of the products work, who it would work with, you know, what would be people's results. So we had people who just needed to lose that extra, you know, 5 kilos or whatever. And then we had people right through to extremely large people who were extreme, and lots of people in between. We had people who were young. We had people all the way up to late 70s. We had people who were very health oriented, so people who ate really healthy, had a good healthy diet. People who didn't even think about that, right? Chips and hamburgers. We had people who exercised, people who didn't, you know, so it was across the board. And one of the things that we saw was whether they were just using that. So we had people just use that. We had people just use these 2. We had people use all 3. We had people use the meal program and the exercise program. And so they were right across the board. Every single person, regardless of how much they used or what their situation was, got amazing results.
Yeah,
So that's a great question, because these products are going to be available separately too. You know, once someone does the program, if they want to keep doing some of the separate bits, they can do that.
One of the wonderful things about what Krista just said is a lot of these folks didn't change their life. They didn't suddenly start working out, and they didn't suddenly change their diet. They kept their life going and had weight loss. So
Yeah.
that's the good news.
The other piece of that is they did after a while. You know, when people started feeling better, it's like they wanted to go for a walk. They wanted to have a salad for lunch because, oh my gosh, maybe I'd feel even better. And their taste buds changed. I mean, it's just really interesting watching what happened.
So here's the good news. This, as I said, is on a boat. It's on its way over here. You will be able to pre-order this next week. You can be the very first people if you
We
choose.
don't even know how much it is yet. We're still waiting to hear
Yeah,
it.
the prices will be released later this
So we're
week.
just like on the edge of our seat.
I can say that it's very attractively priced, and even better, if you want to get, how would free be? Would free be good? Would you like to get it for free? Anybody?
Yay!
Free's, I love free. Right? We make a lot of money. I love free more. It's just great. Free is good. You can get your product for free, and it's quite simple how you do it. You simply have three. You can introduce it to 3 people, and if they buy it, yours is free for the rest of your life, as long as they keep purchasing.
Yeah, it's amazing. The company
Pretty
just
good deal.
brought out this program last year called Got My 3, where people can get their product for free. It's so neat.
Yeah. So try it, get yours, and if you like it, if you like the results, share it with a few people, and if they get it, there you go. You're all set.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with Body Balance too. And I just want to, I know we're kind of out of time, but I just want to say that if you're drinking this as a foundation, you're going to get even greater results.
So a good
That's what I've seen.
A good strategy would be between now and when that arrives is to actually use this to prepare your gut, prepare your body, prepare your immune system, prepare your eliminative system. By using this, condition yourself and get superior results.
And you can do the Got My 3 thing with this too.
Yeah, you can get this for free as well. Yes, please.
So the Being Used product is a product that you use for a limited amount of
Yeah.
time to just lose that weight, and then you just stick with the Body Balance, or is it something you have ongoing?
Well, it's sort of like how good do you want it? I mean, I plan on using this for the rest of my life. I'll just use it because I don't know what's going on inside. I don't want fat on my heart. I don't want fat in my blood vessels. But if I had a lot of weight and I wanted to get rid of it, I could go on and off it. But I would suggest getting it for free and just use it forever. Why not?
We've
It's
had,
that safe.
it's a great question, because, and it's a common question that we're going to get asked a lot, I know that. You know, do I just have to use this for a certain amount of time, or, you know, what is the story with that? And I think it's a very personal decision, really. You know, if somebody uses the program for a couple months and they lose some weight and they feel good and they go back out and eat hamburgers and chips for the rest of their life, yes, it's all going to come back. You know, if somebody uses the program and feels really good and changes some of those things, then that's going to stay off. And we've had people, really healthy people who've been into health and, you know, all of that, who've been part of the test program say, I will never not have this because I feel so good when I take it. I don't want to stop taking it. Whether, you know, I mean, if you don't have excess weight to lose, you won't lose it. You know, this just helps your body function optimally. So, yeah.
So we are going to invite Jackie to come back up, and Jackie, maybe you can help introduce a few people to share some
Yes.
testimony.
Right, so what we're going to do is Michael and Krista just sort of mentioned a little bit about our flagship product, Body Balance. This is one that totally transformed my life, and I wouldn't be without it, but I'm not going to tell you my story. Some of you know it anyway. But what I'm going to do is so that you can see how diverse the changes are with this product. We're going to get a few different people up to share very quickly how it's been for them. So the first person I'd like to invite up is Seamus Ryan. Was over in Golden Bay but has now moved to Nelson. So welcome up, Seamus, if you can come.
Okay then, so I got onto the Body Balance purely for, I was already fit, I was already healthy, I was racing mountain bikes. So I suppose for me I was at the top of my game. I was racing nationally and pretty much finishing in the top 5 over here. I'd pretty much win, so that was pretty good. So when I was looking at Body Balance, I remember thinking I was going to upgrade my gear, my wheels, my bikes, for, you know, it cost about $2,000-3,000 for parts. And the biggest question I was asking to shop owners and things was like, you know, what difference will it make? If I spend $2,000 on the set of wheels, how much faster will it make me up a hill? And no one could really say it'll take 30 seconds off a hill, a minute, and I was sort of like, why should I spend my $2,000? Then Munford introduced me to the Body Balance, told me about it, and I asked him the same questions. How much faster will it make me up a hill? What do I get for my money? Am I going to go faster? He's like, I haven't got a clue, I don't really know. But if you drink it for like 3 months and it doesn't work, you get your money back. So that's where I came in, and for me it took about 5.5 weeks. And sure, I got faster, my body felt better, I felt better, and for me it was a better deal to make me perform better than buying gear. And so now I feed it, everyone in our family has it, the boys are healthy, like I've said to people before, they don't get sick or have sick days from school, so they have days off to do what they feel like doing for the day instead of being sick, because otherwise they just go to school every day and they don't see that's fair. They do really, really well at school. My wife has it, it helps her with her business because she operates a lot better, and the stress levels go down, and so that's pretty much me. And like they say with the Got My 3, I get 16 bottles a month of that for free, because people say to you, you know, obviously you guys look pretty healthy, and they say, what is it? I said, well, we use this, you know, they don't have to take it, it's their choice. If they take it, you know, you get a handful of people, you get free product, and free's good. Thanks.
Thanks, Seamus, well done. So Liz, I'd like to invite up Liz. She's from Nelson, and come up and share your story, Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm a therapist and also a coaching business as well. But I've been on the product for about 2 years now, and prior to that, I remember saying that I wanted a body that was going to keep up with me, and the way that it was at the time, it wasn't going to do what I wanted it to do, to take me where I wanted it to take me. And I'm a solo mum, and I've got 2 boys, 16 and 12. And before the Body Balance, I was struggling to get out of bed. My energy was quite low. Getting to the afternoon, I was tired, so I'd go for the cream cakes, something for a sugar fix, you know. But I mean, obviously with a sugar fix, there's a dip in that as well. Mental clarity, I felt foggy most of the time, and it really used to frustrate me because I just didn't have the energy. There wasn't a lot of happiness and joy in our family as well. So I started taking this, and I'm not a big fan of products and things like that. I never have been. I'm on this for life. I'm not going off this. My energy went up here. It was almost like somebody switched the light on, and I felt like a little ever-ready battery. You know, it was just like, whoa, come on, you know, give me some more. And I just sort of thought, oh my gosh, this is brilliant, and it's so simple. You know, mental, I was a lot clearer. I could actually focus. I was a lot happy. Like the boys actually had their mum back. We had a lot more fun, a lot more laughter in the home, which was just priceless for me. Really, just absolutely priceless. And just really, really quickly, my eldest son, he would have like a lot of bouts of tonsillitis, and it would be like ongoing, like 1.5 months, 2 months, he would get it again. Antibiotics, and he would be off school for about 2.5 to 3 weeks. And it got to the stage that when he knew he could feel it coming, he would cry because he was like, Mum, I don't want to go through this again. Like the pain was just, it was really awful for him, you know. And of course, I didn't know what else to do, so I got him onto the Body Balance. And the second to the last bout that he actually had, we thought it was meningitis and had to get him to hospital, but it was a really bad dose of tonsillitis. And so after that, I was like dosing him up, getting his immune system back up so that he could function and wasn't having so many days off school. And then the last one that he actually had, he was off 2 days and he was straight back to school. So yeah, and he at 16-year-old, he said, Mum, I'm not going off this. He knows what it's actually done for him without me putting words in his mouth. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Okay, now I'd like to invite up a local business person, Paul Curnow. Welcome up, Paul, and share your story.
Hey, thank you. My story is mostly about my wife. I met Christine 25 years ago in London, and Christine had the old chronic fatigue, allergies for Africa. It was like we would go into a restaurant in London and she'd say, "Where do you want to sit?" And I'd go. And she'd sit somewhere and she'd be up 10 seconds later and say, "I can't stand that lady's perfume." And then I'm driving behind the car. She said, "Can you stay back or overtake that? Because it must be diesel and the fumes and all of that kind of stuff, you know." And Christine's not into doctors or what they tell her to do, which I support, I always have. So she's tried a million different things. And 2.5 years ago, she met Jacqueline. And she brought this blue bottle home. And round, I just, 25 years is a long time. I went, yeah, all right. Go on. And then I started 6 weeks, and I started to see a difference. And then 3 months, significant difference. And in Christine's words herself now, she says 90% of the symptoms have gone. I don't know how many of you know much about chronic fatigue, but you wouldn't know to look at my wife. You wouldn't know that there was anything wrong with her. But you couldn't drag her out of bed before 10 o'clock in the morning if you paid her, up till 2.5 years ago. Now, I don't know whether she'd be all right with me saying this, but she's not here, so that's all right. She's 54. And I remember on Queen's birthday weekend, on the Monday, she got out of bed at 8:30. I was up watching football on Sky, and she got up at 8:30, and I did the what's bed on fire. And she was going for a run. And we live in Stoke on the hill. She went out. She came back about 2 hours later, and she had ran from our place down the hill to where the McDonald's is in Richmond and back. I clocked in my car an hour later and it was 18 k's. Was it 18 or 12 or something? Whatever it is, I was gobsmacked. Unbelievable. Anyway, I had cruciate ligament surgery because I play football and 3 years ago, and eventually she talked me into it and said, "I'll keep telling you, take this. So it's made a big difference to me. No one else has said this, I don't want to go much on it, but there's a business opportunity with this too, which is what I get excited about, as well as it being brilliant for my family and me and my health, and you've heard all the other stuff, but there's business opportunities, especially with the new product, and I can't wait. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. So, and as you mentioned, I didn't know Christine had all those things wrong with her. I remember going into the shop and talking to her about her mum's health, because her mum had arthritis. And as the story came out, I found out what was going on for her, so you can never tell from the outside. Just quickly, I want one more story, and that's Sarah, who's a busy mum. I want you to just come up and share quickly about what happened to you and your family with Body Balance. Welcome up, Sarah.
So for us, we found out about the product through our daughter, who at 7 months old came out of chronic eczema all over her face and her body. And I'd spent a month frantically trying to find every natural remedy that I could to work and help her. And I started on the Body Balance to help her because of her age. And through that, it slowly reduced the inflammation over 3 months, and she went from having it all over her face and her body to just hair around her neck, still on her body, legs, but it took a lot out of her face. And then she started on it herself just on a year old, and in a very short time of less than 2 weeks, it reduced the inflammation in her body right down. Now she's coming up 2, and the summer has been really exciting for me as a mum, and the fact that she's running around in little strappy dresses, which I never thought she would, because last summer she was neck to knee covered in hot weather, and it was awful for her. And now she's just running around like a little person should, enjoying the sun and being out in the nice weather. For myself, health-wise, I didn't realise I was quite as run down as I was. Being in hospital twice in 6 months should have been an indicator. And through the 3 months of trialling it for Matilda, I suddenly realised that I wasn't sleeping for 2.5 to 3 hours every day, and I was staying up to about 10 o'clock at night, sometimes later, and actually enjoying it, which was quite a change for the last sort of 2 or 3 years before that. I feel like I'm back in my early 20s instead of my late 30s, which is pretty exciting. And both our children now and my husband are on the product, and our kids haven't been sick this year with all the vomiting bugs and colds and flus that have gone around, which is really awesome. We've had touches of it, but we recover much quicker. And yeah, we love the product and just how easy it is to keep into your life and yeah, just keep your body going the way it should.
Fantastic. So, from those stories, you get a bit of an idea how incredible our products now are. And we'll have more stories with the new ones as we get people using them. So, with products that are so amazing, it's pretty hard to keep that a secret, and especially when people see you change, like Paul's wife. Couldn't get out of bed, and then people see her jogging out to Richmond and back. You know, people ask, what happened? So with that, there is another side to this. It's the bigger picture, and some people will suit that, some people won't. They'll choose it. But what I want to do now is invite some people who are really good at sharing that experience and really good broad coverage, so you get a much better picture and see if that's for you or not. So I want to welcome up Michael and Krista again.
Well, it's really great to hear the exciting stories of people having beautiful transitions in their lives from the product. And I know, probably like you, most people I know are good-hearted people. And if I find something that works as good as this, or perhaps as good as this, I'm going to share it with my friends. And I'll do that just as a friend. It doesn't matter if there's money involved or if I get a benefit or not. I just share good things with my friends. And I suspect that most of you do too. It's what we do as friends. It's part of friendship. And one of the exciting things about network marketing or network distribution is that we now have a way that we can get our products for free, simply doing the same thing, simply sharing it with others. If I get a benefit, I want to share it with Krista, I share it. And there's no pressure. It's not like some big deal. If she wants to get it, I say, yeah, well, I got benefit from this, I recommend you do. She says, how do I get it? I say, well, get it just like I do it. I get it right from the factory. Here's an 0800 number, call them. Tell them I sent you. Or go online. And there's a way you can tell them I sent you. And suppose Krista does that. She decides she wants to use the product, and she does. Well, it's very nice because I've done what a friend does. I've recommended something, and she'll either like it or she won't. She'll get her own result. But the company actually thanks me for that. The company says, Michael Jude, we didn't have to put it in the store. We didn't have to stock it. We didn't have returns. We didn't have shrinkage. We didn't have out-of-date stuff. We didn't have advertising, any of that. And we actually want to say thank you. And here's a little reward check. Here's a thank you check for sharing this with Krista. I said, this is pretty good. I have recommended a lot of things. Thai restaurants, movies, books, all kinds of stuff. And I don't even get a thank you, much less a check from any of that. So I've done a good turn to my friend, and I got a thank you check. This is pretty good. Let's say that I don't see Krista, but she uses this, and next month she says, this is good, I want to use it again. Well, that's pretty good because the company sends me another thank you check next month for her order. And I haven't seen her, or maybe I have seen her. And it goes the same the month after, and the month after, and the month after. And that's pretty exciting because if you're like a lot of people, whether you're a business owner or you're an employee, most of us have what's called linear income. Now, linear income, how you know if you have linear income, you don't have to answer for me, but answer for yourself. If I stop working today, whether I'm a professional or an employee or whatever, how long will I keep getting paid? Now, you may have some severance pay or vacation pay, but it's going to stop pretty quick, isn't it? The money's going to stop pretty quick. That's linear income. Now, there's another kind of income called residual income. And it's kind of like a royalty. Everybody understands the royalty, right? That's what the royalty get. That's our movie actors and our musicians, they get royalties. So they create a song or a book or whatever. And every time somebody buys that, they get some money for that. And that's pretty exciting. They get to live like royalty because they do the work once, but they get paid many times for that work. Now, residual income is even more powerful, and I'll explain why. Because if I'm an author or a movie star, and let's say I put out a movie, and you go to watch it, and I get $1 or $2 off your ticket price, that's pretty nice. But how many times do you go back and watch that same movie or buy another book? Well, probably you don't. So that's a royalty income, but a residual income is superior because a residual income goes on again and again and again, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. I will get a residual income for Krista's purchase. Now, you just heard Liz come up here earlier, and she said, I'll be on this product the rest of my life. Now, as a friend, I feel good. I've introduced, perhaps Krista says the same, I've introduced her to a product that she likes well enough, she's going to use it the rest of her life. She's getting benefit. She's not doing it for me, she's doing it for her, isn't she? But as a business person, you know what else I hear? I have an income the rest of her life. I want to let that sink in for a minute. I have an income the rest of her life. Now, two things about that that are very interesting. First of all, I know if she's using this product, there's a good chance she'll live a lot longer than she would not using it. So that's good. But second of all, if I know I have an income the rest of her life, I can start to make other choices in my life, other decisions in my life. Unlike a linear income that stops when I stop working, if my income for the rest of her life is significant enough, I can start to choose where I want to live. I don't have to live near my work. I can choose how I want to live, whether I want to work or not. In other words, if I know the rest of my life I'm going to have an income, wow, suddenly the future looks a lot different. Now I want to actually take this to the next level, because here's where it gets really, really exciting. Let's say I share this with Krista, and she gets great benefit. She says, yep, I'll use this the rest of my life, and I'm excited, she's excited, and she shares it with Seamus. And Seamus says, wow, this stuff's good. I want to try some. Where do I get it? She says, well, get it just like I do. Get it right from the factory at the same price I do. Here's an 800 number. Tell him I sent you. He calls up, gets his product, they ship it to him. They handle his money, they handle his product. She doesn't handle anything. They send her a thank you check. Now they also send me a thank you check for Seamus's order. And if he stands up and says, I'll take this the rest of my life, I have an income the rest of his life. And let's say he shares it with Manfred. And Manfred gets them from the factory, Seamus gets a thank you check, Krista gets a thank you check, I get a thank you check, smaller, but I get a thank you check for the rest of his life. And if he shares it with Jackie, they all get checks in. I get a check. So I've suddenly got a chain of people, a virtual network of people who are using the product. They're buying it because they like it, not because of me. They like it, and I'm getting thank you checks off all of them and more, because I challenge you to take this and get the results we get and not share it with people. It's just that simple. And that's how this industry of network marketing works. We create virtual networks that distribute products to people who want them. And why that's exciting? Well, first of all, the lifestyle choices that it opens up are really, really exciting. But Jackie opened up the conversation today by saying the world economy is in a recession. Some would say it's on the edge of a depression. And as an economist, I don't see any good news out there. I don't see that it's going to get better anytime soon. I see, my personal prediction, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Now, it's easy to get fascinated with the crumbling economy and the crumbling currencies and governments going down and strikes and businesses going out of business, disappearing, industries disappearing, never to come back. It's easy to see the unemployment and the hardship that causes, real pain in people's lives. They lose their income, they lose their homes, they lose their security in their future. However, there's another side to that story. And the other side of that story is something new is emerging. There's new industries emerging. There's a new economic reality emerging. And that new economic reality is exciting, and it's vibrant, and it's different. Look, you could look at the last depression in the 1930s, and you could see the pain and suffering and dislocation, and old order crumbled and new businesses emerged, didn't they? See, the money didn't disappear. The aliens didn't have a giant vacuum cleaner to suck all the money off the planet. It didn't disappear. It simply changed pockets. Okay? And what's going on today is the money's not disappearing, it's changing pockets. Let me give you a good example of that. Who can name for me a company that didn't even exist 10, 12, 15 years ago? They don't manufacture anything, they don't grow anything. As a matter of fact, they got very, very wealthy giving things away for free. You probably use this product, their products, maybe every day. The owners of the company are under 40 and they're multi-billionaires. Anybody got any ideas what that companies might be? Facebook, Google,
McDonald's.
yeah. These are companies that didn't even exist a decade or two ago. And yet now they outclass everybody in the world. This is the new economy. You see, you can be fascinated with the crumbling of the old economy, but I'm fascinated with what's emerging. Now, why do I give you that example? Because in every economic transition like this, there are winners and losers. There are strategies that are guaranteed that you're going to be a victim, or there are strategies that can ensure that you come out ahead, that you're a winner in the new economy. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, that's all fun and interesting, but what are the chances of me creating Facebook or Google? Well, probably pretty small, frankly. However, we can look at what they did, and we can use those strategies to create personal and family wealth for ourselves. And this industry of network marketing is perfectly positioned to use those same strategies to create wealth for yourself. And I'm not just talking about financial wealth, I'm talking about lifestyle freedom. How would you like to have an income the rest of people's lives, a big group of people's lives, maybe stretches around the world, that ensures you financial freedom? Like you have the money to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, if you want. You can live where you want. You have choices. See, Krista and I make an extraordinary income. More money than actually I could even imagine before we got involved in this thing called network marketing. And we've made millions and millions and millions of dollars for the last 10, 15 years. And we're just getting started. Our business stretches around the world, and it pays us money whether we're on the beach, whether we're working, whether we're here, whether we're there, whether we're sleeping, doing nothing, working on art projects, working our philanthropic interests, writing books, whatever we're doing, we're getting that residual income. So we can make choices now that we couldn't make before because of that security of he's going to use the product the rest of his life.
You know, I want to say something because this is a piece that really excites me. One of my passions is what's possible for somebody's life. You know, we all came here to do something. We all came here for a purpose. And most of us don't even think about what that is because we're too busy trying to survive. And what I'm so, I love this industry because what it does is it gives people possibility. You know, it allows people the freedom to be able to say, what did I come here to do? I have the time, I have the resources, I have the support, it's like all of a sudden the world opens up. And one of the beautiful things is that we do all this by empowering each other. That's how this works. If we don't empower each other, it doesn't work. I can't do this as a business on my own. It doesn't work. Which is very different to the old, you know, Michael talked about the old style of business where, you know, there's a boss and there's the workers and You know, maybe one of those workers will become the boss one day when that guy dies, who knows, right? But it's like there's no freedom. Most people have a job they don't even like, and they spend most of their life doing it. We don't get another go-round. Well, maybe we do, but not this one. You know? This is it. It's not a dress rehearsal. This is it. And so, what are we going to do with this? And so I love being able to offer somebody, you know, what would you, if you were able to, what would you really love to do with your life? And you know what? It's possible. You can. Whatever that is, you can. And, you know, the bottom line is, yes, we need to be physically healthy in order to do a lot of those things we want to do. And so that is part of the picture that we offer people, is that piece. But there's a lot more to it. Health is not just physical health. You know, we were talking about that before, right? Health is, there's a whole spectrum. And I know, as a healthcare practitioner, one of the things I know is that lack of money is the biggest cause of stress. It's the biggest cause of relationship breakdown, and breakout, whatever. It causes more degenerative disease conditions than any other outside influence. It's huge. It's a huge, huge issue in most people's lives, and people don't even talk about it most of the time. It's like it gets swept under the rug. Your money is important. It's not the be-all, end-all of everything, but we need it. I mean, what I can do now in my life, because I have resources, the changes that I can facilitate on this planet, the things that I can do, the giving that I can do. I mean, I never would have been able to do that before I found this. And it's the most extraordinary gift that I can imagine giving anybody. And we do it together, you know? That's the only way it works.
You know, and part of doing it together is, there is a new economic reality. There's a new social reality. The world is changing. I don't think anybody listening to this would think that the world's going to be the same 20 years as it is, you know, from now, 20 years from now. My father, who I love very dearly, gave me some advice as a young man. He said, look, here's the path to success. Go to school, get educated, go to work for a company, work there 30, 40 years, and they'll retire you with retirement. Does anybody in this room think that today that's great advice? No. That's a strategy that worked in the old economy, right? But young people today, what happens? If they go to higher education, they end up with a big debt. They're 4 years behind their peers who went to work right away. They start at the bottom of the ladder in industries that are at risk. And at the bottom of the ladder. So I would not give that advice to a young person today. I would say, hey, get into business. Be a business owner. Be a business owner. Be an entrepreneur. But don't do it on your own. Don't try to be Bill Gates, because one of a kind. We have something called entrepreneurial light. You see, as Krista said, we work together here. You don't need to be an economist to do this. You don't need to be a healthcare practitioner to do this. Matter of fact, it's probably better if you aren't. People from all walks of life succeed here. People who are of different ethnicity, people who don't even speak English well, it's their second or third language, people that have really horrible credit, people that have been out of the workforce for 5, 10, 20 years, maybe raising a family. They don't have that resume, that CV. People who are elderly. They're too, you know, I feel too old to start. I don't have the knowledge. People that cannot go back and retool and retrain. They don't have the money or the time to go re-educate themselves to things.
Or people that don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, people that put their kids in daycare, and what? They go to a job to pay for the daycare, and they never see their kids. What if there was a way they could stay at home and raise their children? What a gift.
So this new economy does have strategies. It has rules and strategies for success. I encourage you to consider the strategies that Google and Facebook are using and adopt them for yourself. And I'll give you a couple clues what they look like. Number one, Google and Facebook don't make anything. What do? They give away stuff for free, don't they?
Information.
Information. Other people's information. It's not even theirs. They're just providing something free, you use it, and they make a lot of money. How about this? How about in network marketing, you do pretty much the same thing. I use the product, I like the product. I give away information, somebody else's information. I say, Krista, I like this. If you like to use it, go to the 0800 number, go to the website, and get it. How tough is that, guys? It's what we do anyway. But here's a way to monetize it. The new economy rewards entrepreneurial activity. It will not reward, for the most part, employment. If you look around at shops all around pretty much the Western world, they're closing down. I mean, there'll always be boutique shops and different things, but how many people are buying stuff online now? Yeah. It's shifting, and you don't want to get left behind. What we do is a new economy model. It's a new industry, it's new on the planet, and it's not small. It's over $150 billion a year. That's huge. That's huge. That's bigger than most of the companies you can think of. It's bigger than Ford Motor, Geico, AT&T, IBM, bigger than Google's revenues. It's huge. Our industry is huge. 100 million people worldwide in our industry. People like you. It doesn't take a degree. I mentioned some things earlier. Doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your education, it doesn't matter your wealth or lack of. What matters are two things. One, you have a dream, you have a goal, you want a better life, you want the financial and social and health resources for yourself. If you want that, the second one's easy. You got to be willing to work for it. This is not get rich quick. There's no free lunch here. But it is a get rich quicker plan than the old 40-40-40 plan, which is you work 40 years, 40 hours a week, and you retire on 40% of what you need to live. It's much better than that plan. Okay? And what Krista mentioned is key. This is a cooperative business model. This isn't a competitive business model. The old economy is built on what? Competition. This is built on cooperation. I will never go back into the competitive world. I was successful there. I did well there. But I would not go back. It was stressful, it was degrading, and there was no future. Success there costs a high quantity of blood, tears, and life energy to be successful there. And then, you know what? The guys I know that were successful there, they didn't have a life. The success was consuming. You know, it's one thing to have money. It's great. Who doesn't want a lot of money? But if you sell your life, and maybe part of your soul to get that money, is it worth it? Probably not. The guys I know that are successful in that world, they have no time. They are time poor. They can't they must have great vacation, but they can't take it. You know why they have those jets? It's not because they're glamorous. It's because the time is so valuable. It's cheaper for the company to buy the jet and fly them than to have them sitting in an airport. Their time is that valuable. They're so structured that their wife may or may not be divorcing them. The kids don't like them. The dog doesn't even like them. They have no outside life outside of that monomania to get to that pinnacle. Now, and this is different. This is a cooperative business model. As Krista said, we don't do this alone. It's impossible by design to do this alone. I recommend it. She does it. That's fine. There's no pressure. There's no sort of manipulation or begging or any of that. She either wants to do it or not. If she might buy it once because I recommend it. The company has a 3-month, 90-day money-back guarantee. She can buy stuff for 3 months. If she doesn't like the color of the bottle at the end of 90 days, she calls up and says, don't like it, I want my money back, and they'll go, fine. So she's buying it for herself. She might buy the first one for me, but the second one she buys because she likes it. Now, the other piece about this that's important is that you may go, well, this all sounds great, but what do I know about all this stuff? Well, the beautiful thing is, unlike the corporate model, where you work for the boss, here we work for you. If you come to do this, we work for you. You don't work for us. We can't hire you. We can't fire you. We can't say, go take a hike. We're going to say, how can we serve you? What can we do to help you become successful? Because, quite frankly, the more successful you are, the more successful we are. We cannot get more successful by ourselves. We have to say, what can we do to help you? Can we train you? Can we show you things? Can we work with you? Can we help you do things? Because that's what we're here to do. That's why we're here today. We don't ever have to work again in our life. It's just a simple financial fact. We don't have to. But we're here because our friends are here. We're here to help them become financially free. You know, funny thing about money, I love having lots of money. It's great. But I want rich playmates too. So how many of you would like to get rich with your friends? How many of you want to party with your friends? You want your friends to have money too, so you all have abundance in your life. This is the vehicle to do it, folks. This is the vehicle. Don't miss this one.
So, Jackie?
Thank you so much. I've been involved with this for a while, and when I hear them talk, I know I'm in the right place. And I even get really excited, and I already know about it. So I guess while I'm up here, I may as well share my lifestyle story as well. So when I first came into this, I knew that there was a business component there, but I came in purely to resurrect my health, because I was a single mum. I had an 8-year-old daughter, and my health was, you know, at a crisis point. And so first to me, I had to resurrect my health. But like I mentioned before, I got my health back. My world was very, very small, and then it expanded again. So I couldn't keep it a secret. And I started sharing that with other people. This can help you. Here's where to get it at wholesale like I do. And I started getting checks. And once I got my health back, I created my own businesses, and I was busy doing that, thinking I was getting freedom. But I soon found out after a couple of years that, you know, owning my own business was kind of like owning a job. I had some freedom, but there was a lot of competition. It was a sort of a dog-eat-dog world out there, and I had to fight for my money, and I actually didn't like having to do that, and I didn't think it was very fair. So I started to look into the network marketing model, and I knew that there was a lot of negativity out there about it, but the more I learned about it, I thought, this is where I want to be, because there's more fairness there than I've ever seen in any other industry. And through being involved with this, it has totally transformed my life. And I know that my life will keep on getting better and keep on getting better, because I'm personally growing through the support of the people that I've been involved with. So I went from being, you know, broke and sick to being financially independent. My life now is amazing, and I know that that is opening up more and more. I had never travelled before I came into this. Now I've done so much travelling. I go, is that my life? I've been on several cruises. I've been overseas to Australia heaps. I've been to America lots of times. Because of the freedom in my life, I got asked a few weeks ago, would I go to Manila? And that was like 1 week, and I said yes, because I could. And then that was next Friday, I was going to Manila, and I thought afterwards, where the heck is Manila? But I went, because I could. It was so amazing. And the other thing with this is that, you know, I was quite a quiet person, believe it or not. And I didn't actually have many friends, and now I've got more friends in my life, and those friendships are really special. They were people I didn't know before, but because of this business, I've gone out and talked to strangers who have become the most amazing friends, and those friendships they're a deeper relationship than I've ever had with anybody in my life before. So it's like the quality of my life is getting better and better, because I'm becoming more and more of who I actually am. And I know I'm on my right life path because of the way it feels And I love living that lifestyle and then leading others to follow me by showing them that it's possible. So I love doing what I'm doing. And so I want to invite Cliff up now, quickly, to just share his lifestyle stories.
What can I say? I'd like to say something that is of value to each and every one of you, especially if you're new to our industry. Yeah, you might not have participated in our industry before. If there's anyone out here that maybe is looking for something else, a way to improve their life, maybe fulfill a dream that you've had all your life, well, I can categorically say that this industry, this amazing company, these amazing leaders, these people who really care about people, this is a path that's all laid out, and that's the way that you can fulfill your dreams. And I'm standing here as a testimony to that. I've been brought up mainstream, got an education, went into the corporate world, and I'll never forget it. There was one day there where I started waking up, and I was looking out of this window, and all I could think of, because it was a beautiful day, and I was thinking, oh, why aren't I at the beach? And for the life of me, it really bugged me, because I started thinking about it, and I thought, why aren't I? Why can't I be at the beach? So there was a line of inquiry there that led one day to a very dear friend of mine who thought of me. You remember Mike and Krista sharing with you, if you find something great, find something, you just naturally share it with somebody. Well, Mumford invited me to take a look at this. And at the time, we trusted each other. I came in on trust. And he said, oh, I found this amazing thing. And by the way, Krista's involved. I said, great. And he said, are you interested? I said, yeah, of course. Great. Have you got your credit card? And that was it, my entry into this. And there has been challenges. It's been difficult sometimes. I can admit that. But what I found was whenever I had these challenges, I had somebody looking out for me. I had somebody they were aware enough to say, hey, do you need a hand? Or, hey, I've got something I can help you with. I've been uplifted at every point where, sometimes I had some challenges. And so now my lifestyle is, I'm looking at my diary. I never dreamed that I would be here, there, another island, another country. I mean, my schedule's just planned out. I'm all over the place. And it's because of this business opportunity. It's given me a life. And I don't know about anyone here, but I've always loved giving. And I really feel that I can fulfill that mission in what we do. So if that speaks to any of you, I strongly recommend just come on board and try it. One step at a time. I think you'll find that you won't be disappointed.